Earlier today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke before a joint session of the U.S. Congress. He offered his skin in the game perspective on the negotiations between the United States and Iran concerning Iran's desire to obtain nuclear weapons. Nettie seemed to give a powerful and impassioned speech, and as Prime Minister of Israel, his job is to work in the best interest of his nation. The speech was a statement from a man who was doing just that. I listened in my car to broadcast radio reports about the speech on CBS, on Fox, and on NPR. I wanted to get a wide perspective of views and comments about the speech and the events. And when I got home, I also read several online news articles about the speech and watched some excerpts. You know, I try to listen to both sides, but I'm compelled to report that on NPR I heard absolutely nothing about the actual content of the speech. And I guess being the openly socialist propaganda network that they are, I found that their commentary seemed to focus on things like, oh, this was simply a ploy for Netanyahu to get votes in the upcoming Israeli election, or Netanyahu doesn't speak for all Jews, or President Obama says Netanyahu didn't offer any new alternatives. Of course, they reported Dianne Feinstein found Nettie to be arrogant, and they reported Nancy Pelosi was insulted and near tears. You know, Nancy, I feel your pain. There's a lot of us who have been near tears for the last 6 years. We wish that our beloved United States had a leader who would work in the best interest of his country. Now, there's a lot of us who look at a leader like Netanyahu and respect the fact that he is not afraid to call out Iran for what they are. Nettie actually said, and let me quote, "The greatest danger facing our world is the marriage of militant Islam with nuclear weapons," end quote. Now contrast that to our president and his professional gigolo Secretary of State, who insistently proclaimed that global climate change is the world's greatest problem. Oh my God, we're in trouble. Winter is about to change into spring. And worse yet, winter's only hiding. It's going to go down to the southern hemisphere, and in about 6 months, the climate is going to change again. This is catastrophic. There's nowhere for us to hide. Netanyahu actually used the words militant Islam. He didn't beat around the bush and claim that, let's say, Iran would use the bomb randomly. As you recall, President Obama claimed that the recent terrorist shootings at a kosher deli in Paris were purely a random act. No jihad here, no anti-Semitism. I don't believe Obama even mentioned that the shooter was a Muslim. Nothing to see here, folks. Move on, move on, move on. Obama bends over backwards to downplay the epidemic violence, anti-Semitism, and pure intolerance that infest the Muslim world. He seems to constantly attempt to downplay the rampant presence of this state of mind that exists throughout Islam. It's like he's saying ISIS and Arab Spring and Hamas, the Iranian mullahs, Boko Haram, these are all just splinter groups of Islam. Kind of like, say, the Westboro Baptist churches to Christianity. You've got to wonder just what is going through his mind. Does he really believe that this rampant jihad against Western culture is just a fad? Does he really buy into the fact that if you let Islam sort this out for themselves, that it's all going to go away? Maybe our president is afraid for the safety of his family if he points out the belligerents. Or maybe he's just so stubbornly sticking to the rhetoric that he heard from his liberal college professors that he can't see the reality that's right there in front of his nose. I don't know the answer, but it's obvious that for whatever reason, Mr. Obama seems to bend over backwards to minimize and rationalize the appalling behavior of militant Islam. So let me sum all this up. I don't believe that global warming is the greatest danger to humanity today. My quandary is that I'm wondering now if the greatest danger to humanity is militant Islam, or is it the remaining lame duck term of Barack Hussein Obama? I ask you. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.